So the first question that I have for you is, I'd like for you to just define Amigos' mission. That's something we've talked a lot about, so I'd just like for you to have the words, just the entire mission, and then if you want to explain it as well.
Okay. So the mission of Amigos de Santa Cruz is to help improve the lives of the people of Santa Cruz through support for education and economic empowerment. And we think education is really the key to making the world a better place and to alleviating poverty.
Perfect. So what do you think sets Amigos apart from other organizations or other nonprofits?
That's a good question. I think what sets Amigos apart from other organizations is our very deep roots in the community and our very long-term commitment to a particular community of people. We're here for the long haul. We're very focused on generational change, and I think that really makes a difference. We're watching young people get educated for the first time in their lives, the first time there's been a generation of educated young people, and they really are the product of the work. They're the fruit of our labor. So, yeah.
Great. So you came here 20 years ago, and so my question for you is, I imagine that you came in, you probably, I don't know if you had any information about Santa Cruz before you came here, but when you came to Santa Cruz, what did you see in this community that you thought was so valuable and worth protecting and worth growing?
Okay. So when I first got off the boat in Santa Cruz, it was as if I fell in love with the place. I don't know if you've ever had that experience, but I got off the boat and I went, this place is just so beautiful. And then I started meeting the people, and the culture is really, the people and the culture is what really drew me to want to spend part of my life here, and eventually to get involved in seeing how I could help make a difference. So it was the people. Yeah.
So as I've already said, so I know that you're retiring after, I think this project is kind of like a last hurrah in a way. Yeah. And so as you've been following us and as you've interacted with this community, what do you feel and what are you most proud of in the work that you've done since you've come here?
I am retiring, and this is it. This is my last hurrah doing this video with you guys. The thing I am absolutely most proud of is the young people who are taking the reins now and carrying on. To watch people like Rosalia and Estella and others who I've known since they were little children grow up and find themselves, and watch them really strive to become who they are today. Really persevere and work hard to become the leaders that they are today. That's my proudest moments is them. Really, they're what I'm most proud of. Yeah.
Sure. There's a couple questions and I'll wrap up.
Hi. So this is for the video
for you guys.
about yes, for both. As the director, and after a legacy of 20 years, when you think about this video and this project of sharing the stories and the experiences, what does that project mean to you?
This is an important project for me. It is, I hope, telling the story of what makes Amigos such a impactful organization, that we have been able to work together with this community, listen to their needs, and actually help make a difference and see lives changing. So I hope that this video inspires people to find out more about Amigos, to follow our example and get out there and change the world. Working one community at a time, one generation at a time. It works. That's what we're doing. So I feel very proud of that. And I'm sure this video will capture that for us.
We're lucky to even have a chance to try to capture that, because it's amazing.
Yeah.
So after working with us for a week, what would you like us as 20-something-year-old students, and then what would you like our generation to take away from this experience?
Very good question. You guys are all just outstanding young people who are talented and skilled and have come down here to do your project, right? But I think what you're getting out of this is, I hope, changes your lives too. I think what you're doing can make a big difference for our organization and for our community, because you'll help us spread the word and inspire others. But I hope it inspires each one of you guys to look at the world through a different lens now and see how you as individuals can make a difference in the world as you walk into your lives now, your adult lives. That it's not all just about money, and it isn't all just about success doesn't equal dollar signs. It is so much more than that. I feel like this job and what I've done for the last 20 years is the greatest thing I've ever done, and I didn't have anything to do with money. The gift was way different than that, way better than that, and I hope you guys get the chance to experience that and think about things as you walk through your lives, and there's choices to make and different paths to take that you'll come back and think about this a little bit, and maybe that'll have an influence on you. I think it will.
That was beautiful. But what was it like to work with us is what I'd like to hear.
Okay, before you answer,
Yeah, sure.
just make sure I didn't
you're
move my
fine.
arm. Okay.
Anything specific?
I'm so impressed with how professional you all are, how excited, and how you jumped right into this. There was no holding back. You jumped in, both feet, all of you did. And I saw you get very involved right away, very engaged. And I saw the spark. I saw the thing ignite right the first time I met you, first time we went up to the village, and I've seen it the whole time. So I see you being very excited about this project, and your energy is great. And so it's been a pleasure to work with you. I'm actually really enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what you do with it all. You know, the next step is to put it all together, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. But it's been totally fun. It's great to see everything through another set of eyes, or many sets of eyes, as we have this week. I get to walk through what we do through your eyes, and I got to feel my pride in everything each day, pride in the people and in the programs, and so that's been just great for me. It's a great way to go out, really great. So I'm really happy I was able to do this with you. So
Yeah.
the thing about generational change is so important. That phrase is really important, more than the mission statement. I mean, it's not in the mission statement, but it definitely is what we do.
Could I have you actually just repeat that phrase one more time?
What we're really doing is about generational change. It's about sticking around long enough to watch what happens when a generation gets educated for the first time. And that isn't really written into our mission statement, but it's all about everything we do, and it gets right down to it. Where we can affect and impact change is really with the younger generation, so much more than the older generation. We're seeing the changes already, and as they continue to grow into their adulthoods and they start raising their families, these are irreversible changes that are happening now. These are really deep-rooted changes that have begun and will continue to go. They can't go away, because that just doesn't go away. That kind of consciousness doesn't go away. And so, again, it takes so long, and it's been such a privilege to be able to watch a whole generation while I've been here, and to see now the next generation coming up, and watching these little children starting to grow into, they're the children of the first generation of our scholarship kids, some of them, and to see that their parents really fighting for their kids to get a good education. Nobody did that for them, and now they're doing it. And they're standing up, and they're finding their voices, and those kids will grow up, and their families will be different. Their health will be better. They'll have more prosperity in their families. They'll be happier people.
I think my next question for you is, what is your vision for this community? What do you hope that they'll be able to accomplish? Or
I think my vision, my personal vision, and I think the vision of Amigos too, is to continue to work to improve people's lives through support for education. But beyond that, my vision would be a community where people can read and write, they're literate, they find their voice, they have confidence, and that there's a leadership that emerges from the community that is able to think critically, to be able to be deeply involved in their communities to help improve the lives of people themselves. So my vision is a community where there's equity between men and women, equality, that people participate in their civics, the civic duties, and to make their community run better, that they continue to fight for their rights and find their voices, because one of the things that I've seen is that when people are poor and oppressed, they do not recognize that they have a voice and that they have they have rights. And once they start to find that voice and use their voices, the authorities have to start to listen to that, because the people are the ones that can make the change. Nobody else can. So it comes from within, and I think my vision is to see these young people rising up, over the next couple of generations, to really find their voices, to make sure that they get what they're meant to have, which is a decent education, decent health, opportunities in their lives. Everybody's got a right to those things, and to know that intrinsically and be able to articulate that and stand up for themselves, that's a vision that I have that I think I'm beginning to see. So it's great.
I have 2 more questions for
Okay.
you. One is, what do you think communities in America or the United States has to learn from a community like Santa Cruz?
Boy, that's a good question. When you're in the United States, people are always, complaining about something. Stress. There's a lot of stress. Nothing's good enough. It's like, someone took my parking place, right? This is the most important thing. They're stressed out. When you come and live in a community like this, for me, one of the things I've learned is to really appreciate what we have here that's very basic, that doesn't cost money, that has nothing to do with all the things that we think are so valuable in the United States. Look at where we live. Look at this beautiful place. There's, I guess, to appreciate, the basic things that are most important in life. And I think people here do. I think they appreciate their community, where they live in the world, in this beautiful place. They appreciate family. They respect people. There's a lot of respect among each other and for elders. There's a friendliness and a love that comes through. You've seen it, and I get it every day. And I think anybody from the United States that comes down here and immerses themselves in a community like this would come home with a feeling of, what beautiful people, what a beautiful thing. And they're not feeling sorry for themselves. Nobody here is saying, poor me, at all. We do that. We do that in the U.S. a lot. And I don't see that happening as much here. I think people are happy. I think people are happier here. Happier with less, but still happy, and working towards a better life, but not in a way that's greedy or materialistic. And so I think that's what I would see people getting from it.
That's a great answer. So my last question for you is, you probably heard this one, so is there anything that I didn't ask that I should have, or is there anything else that you would like to say?
Yeah. You've asked really good questions, Eileen, the whole time, and you did too, Anna. So I really don't know that I have anything else I want to say. I don't. I really don't. To be honest, I think I'll just say no, because I could go on and on about personal stuff, but you're not going to use it, and so just between us, I would say that, it's been my honor in my life to do this work. It's been a big deal for me to spend this part of my life. I'm not a young person like you. I did this after my career, and what an honor to be able to use these years, these great years of my life, to do something good in the world. That's like a gift that so many people don't get, and I got the gift. I got the gift to be able to walk. I can step back now and say, I helped do this. I didn't do it, but I helped. I helped a little, and so I'm going to go through the rest of my life and onwards thinking, that's a real blessing for me, and I hope you guys get to do that too. Don't have to wait as long as I did.